Hello from me, Lazarus. We continue with the next lesson of the course per Lazarus IDE. We are currently on Chapter 7, Components from the Standard Ribbon, and now we are at the last point of this chapter, 7.5. TMain Menu Components, T Pop-up Menu, and Timage List. We will cover them in two lessons. In the first, we'll look at the TMain Menu component. A menu is a component that allows for the user to perform actions such as open, close file, edit a file, saving certain settings, and more. From the menu, the user chooses some of these possibilities. The TMain Menu component represents the main menu of each program. In Lazarus IDE 2 performs this function. TMain Menu is not a visual component, but it needs to be active, to be placed on the form. It consists of separate parts, each of which can contain submenus. So, as an example, we show the Lazarus IDE menu. I here you see here menus, under menus, as there is an arrow, and that's how we open them. We continue, we open the Lazarus IDE, and on the form we have a text field and the TMain Menu component. We click with the right mouse button. I have already done this and I have created the menus here, but basically see how it goes. The menu editor is selected here, and after that we begin to create. Menus and submenus. Now in this case I showed how, we just click on the procedure. We will not consider this at present, and I'll even go back to the PDF file, where this is better seen, which we want to do. Thus, we select the option plus add menu item. When we have nothing, there is such an option, to add the first part, and we see that it creates with the name menu item 1, and yet from above and below to her right options to create a new part appear, from the menu, right, and submenu, bottom. Here it is, I show, here you see here, and here we can create, here we can create here and there, and thus many variants can be created. We're closing, we won't do it now this, in our case. So, I open the PDF again. Otherwise, this menu is well done, easy to navigate and use. We will create 3 parts, and for each one there will be submenus, and changing the name of a part is done by clicking on it with the right mouse button and select Edit Caption or point to it and press the Enter key. Here's what it is the final form on our menu. We have 3 parts. Each one contains n submenus, 3, 2, 1 respectively. We will compile and run the program, to see what she looks like. We see the following: it looks good, and now we need to write the event handler when selecting the given menu options. We start with the File menu, just to remind that the easier option of finding these options is from the Object Inspector Tree menu, by double-clicking on the given menu or submenu. Here's to show with me too, like if you are uncomfortable, maybe a little to collapse the code and expand your object inspector. But eventually you should and for messages to do so. And here, by double-clicking on the given menu or submenu, a procedure will automatically be created to process the corresponding event. And so you will be able to create new procedures. Of course, I'm here already. I have created all the procedures. So, I continue with the PDF file. Here, by double-clicking as we said, a procedure is automatically created to process the corresponding event. So, we start with the first procedure in the File menu, create a new one. To do this, double-click on menu item 5 and the corresponding procedure is open to us, and write the following code in it, that is, we clear the field, this is a new file. So, procedure for the third option save we already did in front program, double-click on menu item 7 the corresponding procedure opens for us, and we write the following code in it. So, to open a file, double-click on menu item 6 the corresponding procedure opens for us, and write the following code, then the message. We were already doing that. That is, we read the text from the new.txt file and we save it in the field memo1, after. Then we output a message, that data has been read from this file. Then we compile and test the program and we see that everything works correctly. Here I am too, just to compile, I already did here some procedures, menus, and submenus. Here's to a new file, let me write. Some sample text. I'm saving it for later. I open and see that this text appeared here. So, I go back to the PDF file, where we continue with the second part of menu edit, or more precisely with the add option, so we double-click on menu item 8 the corresponding procedure opens for us and in it we write the following code, this is what it will look like, compile, run. We test and see that it works correctly. That is, every time the button is pressed adds a new line. And for the second option delete, we will change it to delete only the selected text and we will also change its name to clear selection. That is, we will write it like this. And the code in the procedure is, we try, for example, a moment, that I didn't do it right. Now it's both rows, like that. And the last thing is to write submenu procedure with the about the author option. For this purpose we will create a second form, where we will write the name of the author, in this way, to be more beautiful and spectacular. And then we're going to connect the second shape to the first. We already know how to add the second form to the first, as after implementation we write uses unit 2, thus we include the second form to the first, and not the first to the second. This is not necessary. In this case, we write it just like that and we see that everything works correctly. And now we can go to the second menu, but we will do that in a separate lesson. That's it for this tutorial. Best regards.